Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Welcome to this Secrets of Success special episode of Outfox Obesity, where we're here to serve your personal and professional life. I'm your host, Christine Love, and today our special guest is Patty Swan, the originator of the original pink drink.
Hi, Christine. Thank you so much for having me today on your show. It's such a privilege and an honor to be able to share this information and to share it with you as well.
Well, I'm grateful that you were able to take a time out of your schedule because this is a really important topic for us, and we're doing this special edition to go beyond obesity, beyond the scale. We really want to talk about alternative experiences that our listeners can have so that they can have different results. We've heard the same mantra of eat less, move more for years, and our nation is getting fatter and fatter. I believe, and I'm sure our listeners will agree, that the original pink drink can be a possible solution. So let's get into that. Will you tell me what is your intent behind the original pink drink?
Well, originally, about 4 years ago, I came across a drink that was diabetic-friendly that actually really worked. And I started on the drink, and I thought it was phenomenal. And my husband's a diabetic, and he suffers from many, many ailments. And this drink was helping him as well. I ended up losing 50 pounds just drinking this drink twice a day, taking nothing else but this drink in an 8-month period. And so I was just ecstatic about that. Well, then they took it off the market in its original form. And no matter, I searched and searched and searched, and I couldn't find anything like it. So I said, I'm going to make it. And I knew 100 people who wanted it. So I had a formulation background, but in a different industry. So this was going to take a lot of education and a lot of time on my part. So I just started studying about nutraceuticals and talking with chemists and calling manufacturers who develop products. So I learned about stock products. I learned about special formulas and what the differences were. And I just didn't go to one manufacturer, but went to several different ones and had got all different kinds of bids and all different kinds of ideas. And that's where it all came from. That's where it started. So it's been a 3.5-year track. We launched a soft launch last December during the holidays because I wanted a group of people to take it during the holidays. I wanted to see how effective it would be and if they would gain weight, keep their weight the same, or lose during a time of high calorie intake. And the results were phenomenal. They actually lost. And those actual results are on our website. So those people are talking about, those were the people that actually took the product during the holidays last year. And we did not have one person who didn't lose weight. And they were eating all kinds of goodies.
You were not just a person who used this pink drink, but they stopped serving it, and so you went to task to formulate it yourself because it was so impactful for you, and now it's impactful for others. Is that right?
That's correct. And the formula today is unlike the formula of 4 years ago. It really doesn't have anything in common with the original formula at all. I didn't design it around that formula because once I sat down with chemists and science, because there's actual science behind my drink, and we will be posting that later this month on our website, the actual science that goes behind this. And so with science behind it and then learning, it was just a matter of putting the right ingredients and then making it potent enough that it would really work for, the percentage of the people. The key is taking the product.
But here's the thing. The majority of people who have reached the state of obesity or morbid obesity, they tried this, that, the other thing. They've been on a merry-go-round of diets and exercise up and down. And so many of them are just tired and depressed and have given up. At this point, can you tell me, why is this important? What sets this why should someone give this a chance?
Well, the number one reason people have problems, there's a couple of different reasons. Number one, when you're constantly yo-yo dieting and you're trying different diet aids, and I always call a diet aid, anything that says it's a weight loss product, an aid. That's all it is an aid. And then, or they'll get on these radical diets. And whenever you do that to your body, you destroy your metabolism. And so when your metabolism gets wrecked, your adrenal glands are wore out. They need a break. So, and then another thing comes into play, and there's so much research, especially the last 3 months. Just one study after another is coming out in Western and Eastern civilizations on inflammation. Inflammation is the number one reason you can't lose weight, and people don't believe that. So I might have a woman who wants to lose 20 pounds, and she'll say to me, I can't lose a pound. And so then I interview her and I ask her, well, what are you eating? How are you feeling? How are your joints? In 2014, the National Diabetes and the CDC reported that 81 million people have this inflammation in their body. And some of this inflammation can be nothing but a fat cell. A fat cell is nothing but an inflated cell that has inflammation in it. So right there is your inflammation. But you could have inflammation in your joints. You could have something wrong with your knees, your neck, your groin, your knuckles. You could have like endometriosis. So, or just even your hormones can be imbalanced. You could have a thyroid condition. So all of this plays into your metabolism and to inflammation. And the latest study that was just released this week was by Body Logic MD experts, and that was on July 16th of 2016. So you can Google that and actually read that article, and it really is an in-depth article that I think everyone who really wants to lose weight and get their health, just not their weight, their health back on track. And this is for people who are insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, diabetic, have heart disease. Heart disease is nothing but inflammation within your cardiovascular system. So there's lots of articles out there that they can go to and read and learn about that. So when I put this formula together, I try to find very high ingredient extracts that would really work to bring the inflammation down and to stabilize the glucose, and most of all, to get the appetite under control, because we're all stress eaters now. And come on, how many years have you known that people have supersized everything? Okay, so now if you notice, you go to, like, I don't want to name any names, but I happen to be at a fast food restaurant. I never go to a fast food restaurant, but we've been traveling, and I went the other day and I go, look, they've gone from supersized to mini. I was shocked that it was so small, and it was a taco. But it was supersized. So, and there's been documentaries about that, but people have to realize what a portion is. And then they have to realize what foods really work for them. And, then you've got people who are allergic to gluten or they have dairy issues. So all these things come into play. So I really try and and I'm going to continue, no matter how big this company gets, I'm going to try and continue to have one-on-one and to hire coaches as we get going in this that can teach this stuff as well.
There's so much information out there that wasn't even there like 10 years ago, the gluten, the paleo, or maybe it was there, it just wasn't talked about. And so people are so confused. Can you tell us specifically, what is the Original Pink drink? How hard is it to use?
It's super simple to use. It comes in two forms, in pill form and in liquid form. Powder. Just add it to water. You add it to about 8 ounces of water. You shake it up in your bottle and you drink it. It's not a pre-workout. It could be used as a pre-workout, but it actually is considered for appetite suppressant and stabilizing your blood sugars or your glucose levels and giving you energy. It will give you energy. It has lots of vitamin B in it and vitamin C, and it's even got biotin in it, which they know helps with your hair, nails, skin. So that kind of helps with your self-esteem. But it also, biotin with other nutraceuticals will also help in stabilizing your glucose levels. That's the number one thing people have to recognize, is that you need to stabilize those levels. And not everybody's going to go out and buy a machine, because not everybody's a diabetic. Not everybody even knows they're insulin resistant. They just know they can't lose weight. So the great thing is if they get on the drink and they do it faithfully, a half a scoop in the morning and maybe a half in the afternoon, or one midday, just depending on their eating habit, they'll start to see. And the great thing about this is how we've designed it is the longer, there's 2 ingredients that are patent ingredients, that the longer you're on them, so let's say you start off on day 1, you don't feel anything. Day 3, you don't really feel any different. There's difference going on. You're going to feel some energy and you're probably not going to be as hungry. But 30 days from now, you won't have the appetite you did when you started the drink. And the same with the pills. Now, I'm all for the drink versus the pills for a couple of reasons. The drink gives you 98 to 100% delivery system, immediate. Okay, so you're getting all that nutrient in all those different ingredients in your body at once. The pills, you only get 40%, but they are vegan and they are kosher. It's all GMO. It's all organic, both powder and pill. We are a society who take and is geared to take pills. So I have just been overwhelmed with mail on, please make this in pill form, please make this in pill form. So no matter what, my argument is they want it in pill form, so I'm going to give it to them in pill form. So they're very excited. I'm getting lots of mail, and people are really excited about the pill, but I hope that people try the powder, because I think that's the easiest way.
Then I have 2 questions about that drink. Do people want the pills because they don't like the taste of it, or why wouldn't they just want to take the drink?
The drink is phenomenal. So it tastes wonderful. I have not had one complaint. In fact, if you go to our website and read the testimonies, they say it is yummy. So it's not taste, it's convenience. We have the drink right now in a jar, a canister. And it's a small canister. It could be put in your purse. You can put one in your desk drawer and one at home. But people are always on the go, so I say put it in your purse. If you're a man, maybe I say you always have 2 canisters. But we are coming out in October to where you're going to have little sample bottles of it. So you can always scoop it into your sample bottle and take it with you anywhere, so it will make it more convenient. To put it into the stick form is very, very expensive, and we're not there yet, because I'd rather have the money invested in the quality of the nutraceuticals going into the product than into the packaging at this particular time, because I think that I'd rather have people having success and getting healthy and wanting to change the way they eat. And I give tons of suggestions on our Facebook page on really super simple things that take 10 minutes or less. So I really try and help people through their journey, and they can always contact me. And day or night, you'd be amazed how many people call me and say, I'm not doing this. But if I had one thing I would tell everyone to do, throw away your scale. Throw the scale away. Then go down to the store. And I don't care if you're a size 26. I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you're 300-400 pounds. Go put on a pair of pants. Only, you can have a top, a pair of pants, and take a picture. And then get on this drink or get on the pills, and let us help you with the food that we put out there and the suggestions that we have, and take tiny, tiny baby steps and give it more than 90 days, because 90 days you're going to see a great result. 6 months you're going to see a better result, and a year from now you can literally change the way you're feeling about yourself, about your body, and your health numbers are going to be great. And I also suggest that you do go to your doctor. You can share the product with them if you want, but I would go for my numbers. I would want to know what my cholesterol numbers are, my blood pressure numbers are. I would want to know my AC1 number, which is your diabetic number, and I would want to know my SED rate. And your SED rate could come back, that's your inflammation number, and say that you're within normal range. That's like normal. And if your doctor will give you a thyroid test, that would be great too. Because I believe that if you start with those numbers and you can actually afford to do that and you have insurance, that's great, because then you can watch those numbers. But if you can't, You can walk into any GNC store, and they can give you your BMI. They can give you a good sense of where you are health-wise they run you through a little computer. And that's another way to gauge your success instead of by a scale.
The second part to that question was the pills. At 40%, can you take 2 of them, or does your body just not absorb to the level of the drink?
Your body just doesn't absorb to the level of the drink. And so that's why when you see x-rays, and you can Google this, if you ask for pills in x-rays, they can literally see the pills and capsules that your body can't break down. So we're using capsules that your body can break down. But in x-rays, they can see, oh, that pill's not even breaking down. So never try and take anything that's like a hard pill unless you absolutely have to, unless it's a medication your doctor has prescribed. Always try and get it in capsule form. And if you can, gel form is the best. Now, we could not put this product in a gel form. So we have got it in the best capsule that you can get that is for vegan and kosher and that will break down. So you'll get about 40%. And yes, you can take 2. I suggest when they're starting out, the first day, take 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon and see how they do for a couple of days, and then up that dose to maybe another dose during the day and kind of see how they're feeling and keep a journal. And some people's metabolism will like that 2 in the morning and then they just need that 1 in the afternoon. But you can take up to 4 a day safely. But I would just do a drink. If you're going to work out, definitely, I would do a half a scoop in 6 to 8 ounces of water, and I would go ahead and take the pills because that's just going to help give you the energy and keep your blood sugar steady and stabilized while you're working out so that you don't go hypoglycemic or go up the other way, which most of the time people go hypoglycemic because they don't eat before they work out, and so they come away and they're exhausted. And this will help with not being so exhausted.
It sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like your preference would be for your clients to take the drink. However, as you stated, we are in a pill society and people want that. So as a courtesy to your clients, you develop this. You develop the pill form, and having a little bit of the formula, or not even a little bit, but having about half of the formula is better than not having it at all. Is that fair to say?
Yes, and I do think that people will see I think some people will do very well on the pills. It's called the placebo effect kind of, but I do think the ingredients, and we have maximum dosage in both the pill and powder. We have nothing that's questionable. We're all on the FDA green list. There is not a questionable. I mean, somebody who has high blood pressure can take this medication because this medication is a non-stimulant. One thing I really want to stress right now is there's only enough caffeine in either the powder or the pill of 1 Excedrin maximum strength aspirin. That's it. So it's non-stimulant. So it's going to be phenomenal for people who have high blood pressure, who have a lot of health problems, to really help them get off the couch. I have another story I want to tell you real quick. There was this man, he contacted me and he said, can this powder help my wife? She is depressed. She is in bed. She's like 300 pounds. And I've got to find something, and I have tried everything. And I said, yes. I said, actually, I'm getting ready to release this. I'd love her to take it. So I had a consultation with her on the phone, and I do try and do that with as many people. If they'll just schedule with me, I will work with her time frame. And we talked, and within a week, and she's written all over our pages, and so people will probably be able to find her. And to date, I think she's lost now 44 pounds. I think she might be our biggest loser. And she stayed on it. She did batch 1 and batch 2, and she has stayed on it faithfully. She has had a struggle, but what she couldn't believe is how quick she could get out of bed, and she felt that energy. You're taking something that helps stabilize your glucose levels. So now you're feeding your cells energy instead of starving them. And so now you're starting to feel better, and then you start getting off the couch. So just moving from the bed and getting up and moving and being able to clean your house, you're burning calories. Some of these people have not done this because they're so depressed and they're so overweight, and they've given up because they've wrecked their metabolisms, and their adrenal glands are just totally on burnout.
Can you define what a nutraceutical is?
It's an all-natural ingredient that is usually taken from the plant extract, and then is formulated and gone through a series of tests, because especially here in the United States, the FDA has very strict guidelines. So let's say that you purchase, most nutraceuticals will come in a leaf extract or a powder, and then they will be tested. And they'll be tested for mold, for moisture, for several different things. And then that particular nutraceutical will get a certificate of analysis. And so then if the FDA comes in, you give them a certificate of analysis. You want that certificate of analysis. If somebody gives you a certificate of analysis and just has the first page, you want to get the next 5 pages, because there's something wrong in the nutraceutical if they do that. A year ago, the FDA went into Target, Walmart, GNC, and they pulled a ton of vitamins. And the reason why they took these nutraceuticals off the market and pulled them is because there was nothing in them but fillers. And so all these companies who were putting them out were just putting fillers in there and making millions of dollars off John Q. Public.
That's incredible. Well, let me ask you, back to the lady that you were telling me about that already, you said she's lost 44 pounds, and earlier you said that when someone starts the drink that they need to be committed to at least 90 days so that they can see a significant impact. But how do they feel the first week? Are they going to feel it in the beginning, or are you just saying that it's going to take 90 days, or it may take 90 days for them to see a physical difference?
I think the first days 1 through 5 are going to feel your energy level. The brain fog is going to lift. And so I think that that's what people feel in the very beginning. And then I think they feel like, oh, I'm up and moving, and oh, I'm not maybe that hungry. And then little by little, the product starts working a little bit more. And then they're not craving sugar. Like, she was able to give up Coke. This was somebody who was drinking a 6-pack of Coke a day. Within a week, she had given it up. She had no sugar cravings. Okay, now this is just one person. Everybody's going to be different. I told her in the beginning, let's just work on getting you out of bed. Just keep taking the drink. And then she would post on Facebook, I have no sugar cravings. I have given up pop. Nobody could believe it. And she lives deep in the South, so the very high content fat food and lots of sweets. And so the fact that she was able to give that, and I'm not just saying that the South does that, but I mean, she lives in a place where that's like very popular. And she just kept going and going. Her husband couldn't believe it. And so then he got on it, and he lost 30 pounds and gave up pop. So neither one of them now are pop drinkers. It's not like you can't have a sweet. You can have a sweet. There's nothing wrong with that. It's balance. So our sweetener in our drink is stevia, and we have no food coloring whatsoever. Lots of people are allergic to red food coloring, so they don't even realize it. And then you see these gummy bears for children, and one of the most popular colors is red, and it's full of red food coloring, and they wonder why their kids are hyperactive. And so it's getting people educated. So my goal is, in all this, is to help my husband, is to help as many people as I can through natural products. So we need to eat the freshest vegetables, the freshest meats we can. And a lot of people can't afford all organic at the grocery store. It's out of their budget, but they can still eat good food, and they can eat clean and healthy. And water intake is a must.
That's incredible. Your commitment to your clients is just inspirational. How do people get the original pink drink?
They can go to the website.
On that note, I think we'll just wrap things up.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.